Every first-time homebuyer is faced with this dilemma. Is it better to buy or rent in the coming year of 2025? This video is designed to help you decide what's better for you. As a lender for over 20 years, I've owned numerous condos, numerous single-family residences, and now multi-units and out-of-state properties. And through all those years, I've helped hundreds of first-time homebuyers be able to navigate in the multiple different markets to make the best decision for their situation. In this video, I want to focus on first-time homebuyers and specifically condos because a lot of first-time buyers are paying very high amounts of rent and it's harder to buy a single-family residence just because the price point is so high. So we're going to look at buying a condo as your first investment and how it makes more sense than renting. In this video, I'm also going to dive a little deeper into recent trends in markets about buying condos in regards to the financials, their insurance, rising HOA costs, rising rent costs, and overall how to get the best bang for your investment. So let's be honest, everybody wants to buy a single family residence as their first home, but due to the overwhelming cost of getting into the market, a lot of people are going to buy condos as their first home, and it's a great way to get in the market. So let's look at some of the pros of owning a condo. First of all, the average condo price in San Diego is around $650K versus an average single family home is around $950K. So the pro is the price point is much lower, but there's more things that come along with that as well. When you buy a condo, you also get access to pools, tennis courts, all different kinds of parks, amenities, gyms, and you don't have to maintenance all these things. When you first get into owning a home, one of the overwhelming factors people don't realize if you buy a single family residence is the amount of maintenance that goes into the home. So when you buy a condo, you limit your amount of maintenance, you gain a lot more amenities, and it gives you more access to an urban lifestyle closer to a lot of different things that may make your life simpler. Overall, buying a condo as your first home gives you a way to jump into the market and not have all these additional expenses to weigh you down because you're already going to have a larger mortgage payment than you pay in rent right now. Now, one of the main drawbacks of owning a condo is the HOA, because HOA fees can range from $200 to $600, and in high-end luxury business, $1,000 to $1,500 a month. Another con that goes in with owning a condo is you have all sorts of assessments that could possibly come up, you have insurance costs that could go up, and you have possible new things that could arrive as a homeowner that were unexpected from HOA boards. All around, you have less control over the condo than you would have as owning a single family residence. And one last drawback that you really need to think about is HOA fees generally only go up. They don't go down. Also, these HOA fees don't go towards your equity in the home. And lastly, they're not tax deductible when this is your primary residence. Currently, HOAs are slightly rising faster than the current rate of inflation. So when you're looking into buying a condo, you need to have your realtor look back or lender look back at historically how much is that HOA increasing year over year or every few years. And lastly, just to point out, single family residents are a better rate of appreciation for homes versus condos. If you look at from 2014 to 2024, average home prices in San Diego went up 8% versus condos went up 6%. But 6% rate of return on your money is still utterly amazing. Another question you may want to ask yourself is it better for me to rent right now or better for me to buy right now in the current market? So right now, if we use it as an example, the San Diego market, we're at an all-time high of owning being way more expensive than renting. So when we look at the average rent price in San Diego, it's around $29.44. But then when you buy your first time condo purchase, your mortgage is around $5,000. So you really need to look at your situation and go, is it better for me to rent or can I invest in my future to have a better rate of return in the next 5, 6, 7 years? All in all, if you can get into the market right now and minimally hold your first condo for 5, 6, 7, 8 years, you're almost assured to make a good amount of equity on your first investment that will leap you into your next place that could be a single family residence with the equity money you made. Here's an example of what you could possibly make from a more conservative level. If your condo is $650K and it just appreciated at 4.5%, after 5 years, you would make over $146,000 in equity. Then to look at the con side of renting, if you use the average rent in San Diego of the $29.34, After 5 years, you'd be negative $176,000 that you lost and gained absolutely nothing on. So there's also a cost of waiting. If you can get into the market, here's something you really need to think about what you may potentially lose. So currently right now, home values and condo values are increasing at a much faster pace than rent increases. What that means is the longer you wait, the more expensive your first home will get, while your rent is also increasing at the same time. For example, let's take a look at it. Average rent prices in desirable areas in nice cities averages 5% per year, while the same thing for homes is appreciating at 6% per year. So let's take a look at some different tips that you can use to help ensure that your first condo is a much better purchase for you so that you have a better rate of return long term. So once you've identified a condo complex that you really like, you really need to look at a couple of key things to make sure it's a good investment. Number one is to dive deep into your HOA financials. Contact your lender, ask him or her to review all the documents on the HOA financials to see, is there dues past due? Are there people delinquent? Is there pending assessments? Is there pending repairs that are going to be done? Is there going to be future things happening that are going to affect you and your investment? Another key thing to note about looking at your HOA financials is insurance. Insurance is a major problem now in a lot of states and a lot of areas. So you also want to have your lender really look into the insurance of the complex to make sure that your investment is properly insured, to make sure that you're not at risk for losing. Next, something to really think about is you want to look at where is a good growing market that you can buy in a condo complex that has a surrounding high area of growth. Next, you also want to looking into places that have different sorts of rental policies that are more advantageous for you. Also, you want to look at that complex as well and see how many people in that complex actually own or occupy it versus how many are rentals. And then finally, with all the VRBO stuff going on right now, you want to know, are you eligible, if possible, to make your condo a VRBO if you're in a really growing, exploding market as well? Another thing to think about when you're looking at your condo complex for investment purposes is, does the outside of the complex look like it has deferred maintenance? Does the outside of the complex look like it's been well taken care of? If there's different sorts of landscaping out front, is it well taken care of? When you drive around the surrounding of the complex, is there graffiti? Is there barbed wire? What is the overall maintenance of that complex been? Because later on, all that deferred maintenance may have to be paid for, and that turns into special assessments. So make sure you have a keen eye at looking at the overall quality of the complex that you're potentially thinking about buying in, as also when you're looking at future growing markets, look at the surrounding areas around your complex and how well are they taken care of as well. So in conclusion, to wrapping up, yes, renting in the short term is easier. It does have a lower cost of living. And overall, it kind of makes your life easier. But when you're looking at growing your own wealth, investing in your future, and making a sacrifice, getting into the home buying market with a condo as your first purchase is a great idea because it still does build equity that you can use for later. It also gives you tax benefits, and it also helps you avoid the instability of knowing your rent's going to increase each month. In final, if you want advice on local markets, trends, rents, what's a potential good area to buy versus not, please DM me or send me an email. And then also, if you like this video, please like or subscribe below. I'm grateful for your time and just wanted to say thank you.